Practice at the regularity in the world of pool. The snooker gear.
I think Efren feels a little more.
And now you'll be able to enjoy your match tonight with Efren Reyes.
Yeah, it should be great. I mean, the last thing I wanted is like needing, not even to win, needing even one wreck. Entertain the crowd. So, you know, I really look forward to it. It's all in your hands. So, you know.
I think we may see the best of Efren here. A little bit of the heat off the level. All of a sudden, less shot on this two. I bet the crowd laughing there as Tony Drago was so quickly down in his shot that Efren going to play when you've actually qualified. Sometimes when there's absolutely
I have a feeling you never know who you might meet in the knockout stages.
That's right. Many people know at home it's not just that Tony Drago got to the semi-finals of this World Championship. Of all the snooker players, I would say he is certainly the most practiced and in the world of pool. The snooker just last year, he's very much a threat. He's very much a pool player now, an all-rounder.
Waste little time in opening.
Needing even one wreck.
Accounts here in this one. One down
to no.
with regularity there again.
Kicked badly into the pocket.
Foul shot.
To be particularly sound to prepare for the next phase of the tournament.
You know, Steve, he uses a very long cue.
Well, a lot of these players are not as proficient with the slightly longer cue, and you can adjust where you grip it. You can reach a lot further across the table for those awkward shots. Just overcooked it a fraction. Makers who talk a good cue perhaps are no better than the other one.
Deposited, and the Magician back on level pegging with Tony.
He was using the cut break a couple of years ago, which makes the cue ball come to the side cushion after contacting the one ball. He's not using that this time.
Yes, many players in the game feel that if Reyes does have an Achilles heel, it's in the form of his break. Mind you, you wouldn't know it after the first two he's hit here. Very imaginative as displayed by that shot.
Somewhat easier to break off on the television tables when the cloth is very dry, no humidity in the table at all and in the cloth. And I'm not too sure whether we've actually seen Earl Strickland talking about that yet, but he got some interesting views on the break-off shot in the World Championship.
Already, if it ever started raining, these tables might really become... I understand they get about one of those a month here too. And you know, Keith McCready, he'd enjoy it here. And right now, the enjoyment is falling on the shoulders of Efren Reyes. 2-1 ahead of the Tornado, Tony Drago.
Shoulder going through. A slightly softer break from Tony. He can break harder than that, and it's paid off in one respect. Missed the two and has left Efren a chance. The green six helped him.
A very useful little touch on the six there. Left-handed. Ensuring to leave an angle on this three ball to get back the opposite end of the table for the pink four next.
Brown 7 he decides to play for. Very cleverly taking that out of the equation, using all the angles of the table with these spotted cue balls.
One through.
You know, I'm sure people think it may put you off the shot. After a while, you don't even notice. You know, you don't look at them in that way. I suppose you could say there's an optical illusion sometimes that you can't see the middle of the ball because there's a spot to one side or the other. But Reyes, smoothly and confidently, playing like the champion he is. No pressure on this.
At the table, he knows he has survived Judgment Day. And he's leading. Tony Drago 3-1. 5 balls down on
Entertain the crowd.
the break as well. Not bad at all. Let's head back to commentary.
I know there's a little bit of luck attached, but definitely didn't there. You can see by where the cue ball finished up that he was no intentions of this. Isn't easy. Playing the safety to just in front of the middle pocket, and it's just poked its nose out. It is
Yeah, it should be great. I mean,
difficult to pot into that middle, I would imagine. Pocket didn't look a problem.
entertain the crowd.
4-1 from Tony Drago. Looks like he's going to be breaking.
And the table in his group. As we said earlier, both players through to the last 64. They've survived Judgment Day.
And the last thing I wanted is like needing, not even to win, needing even one wreck. Needing even one wreck.
Just jockeying for position now when the seedings are made.
He may have had to
Yeah, it should be great. I mean,
come to his last match under pressure. As it was, the bottom 4 cancelled each other out somewhat. So Efren found himself with a relieved last match.
Yes, that's the case with.
And he was 3-0 down in that match as well. Bit of match practice. Just sneaked it behind the 2. To play a snooker back here if he can contact the ball full. Good pace on that shot.
Tony gets down, barely gives us chance. Philippine contingent this year. Really no one that didn't turn out. One of the Filipino stars, Jose Perica, now lives in America. Failed to make it through the qualifying stages.
Good pace on that shot. This type of shot can lead to problems, as he can get you in a very, very good snooker back. He doesn't want this to really go in.
well, perhaps entertain the crowd.
He's left himself a very difficult 2. They love that. Perhaps somebody's just told him a joke at the same time. But then trying to make left-hand spin, trying to keep that ball as close to the bottom cushion as possible, but Constantly spotted something very quickly. Yes, I thought he might be playing that shot. It's just come unstuck.
You know, I really look forward to it.
Back and now, Efren's got the choice. A 2-9 combination or run the rack normally.
3 though. So he's taken the overland path to victory here. But I've got a feeling came out to watch here today have really been treated to some terrific 9-ball. Reyes putting on a clinical display, not only of breaking, but masterful positional play and safety play with it.
And one wreck, entertain the crowd. So, you know, I really look forward to it. It's all in your hands, so, you know.
He does, I don't know, but he's left himself a very difficult 2.
That's the reason that he takes out Tony Drago.